The U.S. women's national team just 3 days ago won gold for the first time at the Olympics since 2012 in quite a big matchup, Ali, against Brazil. We know exactly the threat that they can cause. And look, let's be honest, it wasn't exactly their most dominant win. It wasn't the prettiest of wins. But you know what? They did exactly what they did or what they needed to do to get the job done. And that's exactly what we wanted to see. And I mean, if we're talking about the heroines of that night, well, we'd say look no further than the likes of Mallory Swanson, considering it was her goal and her brilliance that brought them the win, and as well as the brick wall that we can call Alyssa Nair, who was just absolutely clutch in between the sticks. And overall, like I said, it wasn't the prettiest of wins. Another 1-0 win for the USA. Brazil probably could have had a lot more to say, especially in that first half. But in the end, it is the Star-Spangled Banner that rang out for the gold medal. It's the USA's 5th Olympic gold medal in soccer. And here's what Lindsey Horan and Crystal Dunn had to say about how they were feeling after.
Oh my gosh. I think it was like relief after that 10 minutes of added time. It was such a incredible moment. It's hard to explain. You know, as athletes, you see so many players in their careers go through these moments, the ups and downs and everything. And I think getting this gold medal, we've wanted for so long. It's been since 2012 at an Olympics, and I think it was just the team. We were such an incredible team, and the togetherness. I think that's why this means so much. Is like we did everything that we needed to do, and everyone wanted it for each other as well. So I think that's probably what makes it the most special.
Yeah, I think, oh my gosh, the best way I can describe those final moments, the whistle blows, it's like I fell to my knees, and honestly, instantly, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm tired. Thank gosh, I don't have to run anymore. But I think all the ideas and thoughts of just everything that we've put in to be here starts rushing out, you know. And I think it's about the sacrifice. It's about all the things that didn't always feel great, but you knew were so important for you to do in order to get through it. You know, all the long trainings, the hard sessions, the hard games, the disappointing games. I think it's incredible to be that team in the end on the podium with a gold medal.
Well, it felt like the world was watching indeed. And here are just some of the congratulations that rung out for the U.S. women's national team from people like, do you know who Herculez Gomez is? We may know who he is, but LeBron James, a fellow Olympic gold medalist at Paris 2024, Billie Jean King, Patrick Mahomes, Alex Morgan as well. And shame that I think my own must have gotten lost, or the producers didn't want to throw it in there. But anyways, Ali, I know you didn't even need to speak congratulations to the girls because you were there. You went to Paris. You witnessed it. As someone who's still such a massive part of this family, walk me through what the experience was like, and more importantly, the after party.
Yes, that was the most important of the night. It was incredible. We had the best time, and also watching it with my fellow teammates and former teammates, and you know, just alumni with the U.S. Women's National Team. And Mia Hamm was there, and you know, our president was there, and it just was truly remarkable to see the young talent and the quality that we have really execute what they've been working on for so many years now, and to really apply what we've seen, you know, just in recent years, and finally having it all come together. I think we all got so emotional. We were laughing, we were yelling, we were crying, we were hugging, we were just so excited and throwing our arms up in the air, just such proud older sisters, so to speak. And just being there physically in that moment was truly incredible to share that with them. I remember after Mal scored, she had looked up in the stands and kind of pointed to us. And we were just, in that moment, we just felt, wow, this seems to be so exciting for them to have us there. And like in that moment, I felt they were so appreciative of our support. And so I couldn't be more proud of the team. I couldn't be more excited to have celebrated with them. I was so honored to be there. to witness this magical moment and all of these young players who have kind of come up through the ranks, and I've seen them play, day in and day out in club and working through their colleges and their universities. And so it's brilliant to finally see this all come together, and especially with Emma Hayes only, being in control of this team for 10 days. We had the best time. And I couldn't be happier for them. And just like Tobin Heath had said to us in our small little group, she said, we're right back where we belong.
Yeah, exactly. Right back where a lot of people believe the U.S. women's national team belongs, and that is always at the top of the podium after what has been, honestly, a difficult year. If we trace it back, we were talking about the Women's World Cup this time last year and doing, a post-mortem and reviewing what went wrong and wondering if it was just that, it was panic stations, what was going to happen with Vlatko and whatnot, where they were going to go going forward. Did this win probably feel like the most significant gold medal win, like almost that they needed this after what happened at the World Cup last year?
For sure. I think there was a whole new mentality, a whole new identity. There were new principles, new expectations and roles and responsibilities. We've talked about this before on the show, and what Emma Hayes has brought into this squad and the type of leadership is completely different, and it's going in such a positive direction. And it seems like a healthy environment, it seems like a safe environment, and it seems like every single player is really enjoying their football and really happy and having fun, and that is key in performing your best and having success. And I think we heard Emma say all she wanted to really do was come in and facilitate and not change the players themselves, because you have to understand managing players, everyone's different. You can't manage the same, all the players the same, because they bring different qualities, they have different personalities, and the types of personnel mixed on the field really matters together, and how you build relationships and have success in a tournament like this. And so day in and day out, I think she created an environment where people could just take a breath and feel comfortable being themselves, not only as a human being, but also as a player on the field. Bring your individual magic. And I think watching from the outside in and talking to some of the players, it was that empowering, empowerment that she gave some of the players to say, listen, this is, this takes grit, and this takes determination, and this takes heart. And that's what I want to see. And so I think knowing that everyone feels and looks super comfortable and confident. And that's how they played all tournament long and carried the momentum all the way through the final.
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, after a statement from U.S. Soccer said that on 5 occasions, the USA stumbled at the FIFA Women's World Cup, and each and every time it was crowned Olympic champion the following year. That is the bounce back of all bounce backs. But let's talk about the game specifically, Ali, because like I said in the intro, where the USA belong, that's where people expect them to be, at the top of the podium. But against Brazil, it's always a massive matchup. And it didn't come easy for them. Yet another narrow 1-0 win. If you look at it, it was a close game. And like I said, Brazil had many opportunities to almost put the game to bed earlier on.
For sure. I was thinking that we were going to be down 1 or 2 goals in the very beginning. Thank goodness for the solid defense, last minute defending and tackling, but also Alyssa Nair, which we've spoken about, how brilliant she has been this past year, and obviously more specifically in this tournament, and has kept this team alive. And I think that's what they do, within the squad as well. It's not just her. There's a great spine to the team, which every team needs that in order to find success. You have a great goalkeeper who, demands a lot, but also can be really supportive and communicative from the back to organize and see the entire field. And then you have a back line, but in that back line, you have a leader like Naomi Girma, who's, a little bit less experienced because she's still so young, but she carries herself in such a leadership position, which then gives other players that confidence. And the way she's been performing also just proves why she deserves to be out there. And then you have Lindsay Horan, the captain of the team, who's so experienced at the highest level, playing with Lyon and in Europe for multiple years, and with Portland winning championships, and obviously the national team at the World Cup level winning championships. So she has that experience and leadership quality. And then you look at the front three, the triple espresso, as they name themselves, and it's really remarkable how well they've done this tournament, because we didn't see that necessarily leading up to this tournament, how successful they've been in the front, creating chances, being clinical in front of goal, really carrying the team on their back, and also being able to build those relationships together to play and combination play, and to just play off of each other, have different moments of success, not be afraid to continue to set each other up and make each other look good. I think there was purpose to their play, and I think we haven't seen that except within this tournament. And now everyone, including myself, is so excited about these three and the potential that they can have, because like you and I were talking about, the shoes that they actually had to fill in the past with likes of Megan Rapinoe, Alex Morgan, Tobin Heath, Kristen Press, and only to name a few. This was definitely a concern, I think, for the attacking U.S. women's national team mentality. And now they have brought their own individual magic and their own combination play. And I think it's really amazing to watch and to see it live in the final. When all of us were there, we were hitting each other, we were yelling and cheering and jumping up, and it was incredible. So I'm excited that the spine along with the front three are really going to take this team to the next level.
Yeah, 100%. I think that front attack, or that attack, as you said, was not necessarily an area of concern, but going into the World Cup, I remember speaking to Sophia Smith a lot, and she felt like she had to keep defending them and saying that, look, they get it because they're taking over from the likes of Alex Morgan, Tobin Heath, as well as Megan Rapinoe, who we knew was on her way out. And everyone was saying, oh, but they don't have enough experience on the international stage. But she says, look, a game's a game and we're ready for it, and I think she definitely showed that. But before we speak about Sophia individually, definitely want to speak about Mallory Swanson as well, because, even especially because she's the older of the three, I would guess we could say, she is playing some prime football. And of course, it's her goal that we know was the key one in that final.
Absolutely. And, all three of them obviously had, their one powerful moment to get the team into the next round, and which we'll talk about a bit later. But for her specifically, what an amazing talent. She came onto the team when she was 16, and I knew right away in those camps, I said, wow, she is going to be an amazing player. And once she gains that experience, which she started very young, so she has all the tools and all the knowledge to just apply to her specific game and the game that she wants to play, and in her individuality. And I think that's what's been so valuable and attractive about a player like Mallory, where she's not only has that quality and that skill set, but now she's so experienced in this position where I don't think she ever gets rattled. She's so calm under pressure. And I think that is something very impressive from me watching as one of her, an older player that used to play with her, and she would come on the field and just provide such a spark. And you could see that she was so willing to want to succeed and want to just be better every single day. And then that now makes so much sense to me because of the struggle that she went through last year with that injury and tearing her patella tendon, which was so unfortunate because I think we obviously missed out, of her during the World Cup. And that would have been a huge asset to the U.S. women's national team in that tournament. And so you could tell her absence. And now working so hard, getting back out on the field, focusing on her mental health, emotional and physical well-being in order to be in this position to set her team up for success and to help in any way possible. And you could just see the joy that she had throughout the tournament, and especially scoring that goal was brilliant. And I'm so happy for her, and kind of everything comes full circle for a player in that moment who gets injured only a year prior.
Well, we know Emma personally at ESPN, and she will absolutely hate for me to say that it's the first time that we've had such a buzz and spotlight in a long time on the coach as much as the players, and even though she wouldn't want that spotlight, she truly is such a special character, person, coach as well. And, she got to sit down and have a little chat after winning that gold medal with our very own Katia Castorena. Let's hear more from the big one herself.
Emma, thank you for your time. Gold medal with the U.S. after only 10 official games under your belt. How are you managing all the emotions of what was just accomplished?
I don't think I am managing the emotions. I feel extremely honoured. One, just to get this job. Like, to be given this job was like a dream for me. To then take the team to a gold medal. I'll retire happy, knowing that I've been able to do something with such a tremendous group of people. And we were so together the whole time, and it was a special feeling and a special environment, one that usually are winning ones, and all the ingredients are right, chemistry's right, timing's right, resulted in gold.
You talk about the chemistry. That, of course, shows on the field, but also the way the team was playing in such a short amount of time. Do you feel you have been able to see what you wanted out of this team?
This is an Emma Hayes team, definitely. And even my old players at Chelsea say to me, that's an Emma Hayes team. You know, that's how I like football to be played, and you got to mix it up. You can't do the same thing all of the time, but you play with a huge amount of heart and determination and perseverance and grit and resilience and all of those things. You got half a chance, and on top of that, you add all the qualities we had from a football perspective. It was a winning ingredient.
It starts with everyone, and it's a collective effort. But we've seen the spotlight on the attacking trident, the triple espresso, seeing the chances, the goals, assists. How much did you enjoy seeing that?
Loved it. I absolutely had a ball. I've told everybody it's had a blast the last month. I haven't stopped smiling and enjoying myself and feel relaxed, and got to see beautiful France. Been travelling all over. I worked with a tremendous team behind the team, and that collective effort was so powerful. But I've learned in my coaching career, like, don't wish days away. Don't spend time over the small stuff. Make our memories, the important ones, and take care of people. And we've done that, and that's why we're here.
It had been 12 years since the last U.S. gold medal until now. You mentioned you were desperate to bring back that glory to this program. Why was that?
Because we deserve it. And the US women's national team is the most famous team in women's football. So to join the illustrious 99ers or the 96 team, or even in more recent years, in 2012, I wanted to join that group, and I wanted our 24ers to have their moments. So I'm so happy for the girls.
What did you encounter in that locker room, this group of women that you have here?
Just friends. They all like each other. They all get on. Of course, we have our squabbles from time to time, but generally, like, really, really good, and commitment and dedication to the task. And everybody put the team first. And trust me, when everyone puts the team first, you got a better chance of winning.
Lastly, where would you rank this accolade in your career?
Top. Definitely top. I've won a lot of things in my career, but this is definitely top.
Well, 10 games in, and Emma Hayes, who we know has won so much already, has said that this is the greatest moment of her career. Ali, it's going to be hard to beat, but you can see it. You can see it, that she's just enjoying it. This is the calmest I think I've ever seen her in my life. And it's also a testament to, as you said, the group that she's come into.
Yes, I love how she was also saying, I've won a lot of things. But this is definitely top. But I could see the excitement. I could see the joy. I could see the love for the team. And it's so true what she says, the team behind the team. Because a lot of people within an organization ask, what do the players need to be successful? How can the players, get, more experience, or get, all the resources, and what do they need to really perform their best? And I think not everyone asks the coach, what do you need in order to perform your best for the team? And so I think what U.S. Soccer has provided her is, the resources that she's needed, no matter what that is, across all, the entire board. all the resources for her to be successful and to really help this team be successful. And so I think that's key within an organization, to not only just think about the players, but you think about the coach as well. And so that's what you see here. And I think that's why she's also having so much fun. I mean, you have such quality players. You barely, you just have to organize and you have to facilitate, like she said, and you have to manage personalities. The quality is there. And then it's just kind of next is helping the players understand their roles and responsibilities and whatever principles that you want to apply to every single game. It's about the identity of the team, and that's very clear. They play with determination and grit, like she mentioned, and ultimately heart. And as long as you have that, then the success will come because of the talent that each and one of those players, possess.
Well, she said, this is an Emma Hayes team. This is how I want to play football. And I think it's hard for some of us to just understand that on the outside because, like I said, she's only had 10 games in, and we constantly hear how managers need time and they want patience before they can get their teams to click and to have them play exactly how they want to play. But can you see, is this the finished product already from Emma Hayes in how she has the U.S. women's national team playing now?
Well, I think it's a step forward. I don't want to say that this is probably the final, I guess, team that Emma could have, because you always want to have a growth mindset. You always want to continue to get better, and you always want to continue to, be the best Emma Hayes team that you can be, and not really have a glass ceiling. So I think that the level that they could play at is going to be remarkable. And I think this is only the beginning. It's only been 10 games. Can you imagine now a few years leading into a Women's World Cup? It's going to be, this is going to be probably one of the best teams in the world, if not the best. And it's going to be the team to beat. And so as long as everyone's healthy and everyone is fit, she, has such talented and quality players that as long as she can continue to manage, players well and continue to encourage them to bring their individual magic, I think this is going to be a remarkable tenure for her. And hopefully we will see it for many years to come, because I actually enjoy watching now. Not that I didn't before, but there was something about this team, the squad. Not only is it the togetherness that you can see and the joy, but the quality that they bring during the games and the calmness, even under the pressure. Maybe when things aren't going necessarily that well during the game, you don't see panic. You don't see, individuals just kind of going out on an island and playing the way that they, want to play. You actually see the cohesiveness still. You actually see the support. You see the patience in this squad. And I don't think I saw that before when really things, were going south. Who was really going to step into a position to really continue to keep the control of the team and the goal and the task at hand, as a collective unit. And so that's now what I see. And you can tell that there's a spark within each and every player to want to be their best. And there's an excitement around the squad. And I think she's brought that back to the national team. And that's why you see them wearing the gold medal around their neck.
And I want to talk to you, especially because I know you do get to talk to the girls a lot more than, say, I would. But I want to talk to you about the player management and I suppose her style of managing, because I think that that's something that we don't talk about enough or respect enough. We often see and respect a lot of managers historically who have been successful because they kind of rule with that iron fist, like a Sir Alex Ferguson or Marcelo Bielsa, Pep Guardiola. And then you have another set of managers, especially now, like an Emma Hayes, like a Jonathan Giraldez, like, a Jurgen Klopp, who command that respect. But you kind of also want to go and have a beer with them, and Emma is one of them. We've spoken to Fran Kirby a lot when she was here at Chelsea before Emma left. The Football Writers Association here in the UK had a kind of like an awards dinner for Emma. And Frank Kirby gave a wonderful speech about how anytime Emma dropped her from the starting 11, she marched straight into her office and she used to be like, hey, what's that about? But Emma always said, you know what, sit down, let's talk about it. And she talked about how that culture that she had, where she felt like, yes, of course, she respects the manager, but she always had an open door to bring the problems, to have the dialect, to have constant communication, is why Chelsea was so successful under her. After speaking to some of the girls on this US team, do you feel like that's what they've said? Is this something different, something that they're embracing, that they think is, we like this and this could be the key to more success for us?
Yes, because I think the environment, there's so much pressure in itself to really perform your best every day because you're competing with the best of the best. And if you're not, if you don't feel like you're performing well and to the standard that you have just as an individual player, then someone else is going to take your spot. And so you already have that pressure. And so I think she's coming in with this, hey, you're allowed to make mistakes, and you're not going to, there's not going to be a retaliation against you, for doing that. And really giving players an opportunity to be themselves and to bring their individuality, because that's what makes the team a whole and great and unbeatable, because players aren't the same. And this environment is so difficult to be your best day in and day out. And I think that now you see this calmness within the squad where you have a coach that kind of reminds me, which I don't know specifically because I have never played for Emma, which I've always wanted to, but it reminds me of Juan Carlos Amaros, who was my coach last year for Gotham, where you have this human element to every single player. So first and foremost, you're a human being, and then you're a player, and I think that is really what separates a good coach from a great coach from a good coach, because you have to have an understanding of what is going to get the best out of every individual player, because you can't treat everyone the same. And so I think she's kind of instilled this calmness, this patience, and she's also has a good understanding of who the players are as individuals and human beings, to be able to connect with them on a level that maybe we haven't seen in the past. And I think she's taking the time to do that and being very comfortable and open and honest, which I think every single player wants from a coach. When you have a coach who's really telling you, okay, this is what I want. If you're not going to do that, then I'm going to find somebody else who can. Then that's like, okay, well, I'm going to work my butt off to hopefully do that if this is what this position, needs. And so I think she has this capability of really getting the best out of these players and making players feel comfortable and confident in just who they are individually, which maybe before wasn't the case. And so now I think they're playing attractive soccer. It's this, really attacking minded football too. And it's enjoyable to watch. And I think it's more free, and they're having fun, and they look super focused. And so that's also a joy as just a spectator to see as well. And talking to the players, they absolutely adore her and are just so appreciative that she kind of came in, even though it was a little bit, late, so to speak. She's really turned this team around.